Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about X-51, the Machine Man. This particular comic book, it's really odd. It's very different. I only have one other comic book like this in my collection, and you're going to see why. Because there are no speech bubbles in the whole comic book. All the text is on the side, and the really weird thing about this particular comic book is the X-51 series was part of a line of Marvel called M-Tech, which we had X-51, Warlock, and Deathlock. All these series came out of a X-Men story arc where the X-Men battle the Red Skull in the SHIELD helicarrier. I think this was... No, Warlock also reached issue 12. And the series gets canceled after this issue. But we sort of get the story of what happens after this particular run. And so the creator, the writer, his name is... I don't remember. Give me a second. His name is Karl Bollers. And illustrated by Joe Bennett. Like, that's another really weird thing. The writers are actually credited on the last page. Gets to tell his full story, his full vision of the series, even though it's getting canceled. So that's like, this comic is a real weird gem within my collection. We're gonna go over, give you guys a brief overview of what goes down in this particular issue. The X-51 series, I do recommend you guys go and read it. It's a pretty interesting series, at least at first. It has a lot of promise. So let's start talking about this. So X-51, the Machine Man, makes his first appearance back in a comic book called Space Odyssey, way back in the day, created by Jack Kirby. And so basically we get the whole origins of Machine Man, where he comes from. His creator, Abel Stack, wanted to create artificial intelligence. His first experiment was this computer called Zero. Then, to get funds, he starts his partnership with the United States military. He starts the X series of robots that he gives them artificial intelligence and consciousness. And all these robots just go batshit crazy, go on murderous rages. So he goes through X1 all the way up to X50, but X51 is the first stable robot that doesn't go crazy. He's a really nice guy. Abel Stack adopts him as a son. He calls him Aaron Stack, and trying to save his robotic son's life, because all of them had destruction devices implanted into them, just in case if they would go rogue. Tries to remove the explosive device. Mr. Stack ends up killing himself. Machine Man is on the run because he doesn't want to be used by the military, so he goes on all types of adventures. So we go through everything that Machine Man has done during his time as a Marvel character. Then we reach the whole situation where Machine Man's consciousness gets corrupted by Master Mold. We have this whole situation with Bastion and Cable, which I'm going to cover in another video, which feels like the proper end to the Zero Tolerance crossover. And it was like a pretty interesting way to bring back Machine Man into comic books, because he was a relatively obscure character. He would pop up every once in a while. Then we get the whole story arc with the Red Skull and the X-Men, where he gets destroyed. Then we get what happens during the X-51 series, which I'm going to cover in another video. But as I said before, the first couple of issues of this run, all the way to the battle with the X-Men, it's really good. At least I had a lot of fun with this series. Seeing this new reimagined X-51 dealing with the corruption of his systems by the Master Mold, because basically every time he sees a mutant, he flips out. He tries to kill him, even though he doesn't want to. He's a hero. And so that was really cool. At least I really liked it. But then we get the whole story of what happens after the series ends. So AIM is actually brings back this computer Zero, the first artificial intelligence that Abel Stackman created. Zero becomes this homicidal robot, is able to take over AIM. He immediately enslaves MODOK. Machine Man, during this time, sort of he slips into the future and sees that Zero takes over the world. He has enslaved all the evil robots in the Marvel Universe, all serve Zero. Everything goes to hell. Also, at the same time, this is really weird. Machine Man stops this gang war between two motorcycle gangs and makes one of these gangs become this group that helps around the city and helps keep the peace and helps in general. And he uses this motorcycle gang to fight against AIM, and he creates these technological armors to take down AIM once and for all to help him stop Zero. So we have the final showdown between Machine Man and his older brother. Then the monolith appears. It's like a recurring theme with Machine Man. We have this monolith that's tied to the Celestials and tied to the origins of humanity, where at the end of this story, he goes into the monolith, and this becomes falls into the protection of the Celestials, and in a way, it sort of becomes like full circle with the Space Odyssey story. They're going to send this monolith into the past, jumpstart human evolution, and that's it. That's all I have to say about this fascinating issue that they canceled the series, but the writer just really wanted to show his vision, and he got to, even though it's very abbreviated, and it's really weird to see it something like this. So I hope you guys like this video. The X-51 series is really awesome. I'm going to cover the full run. I think I have every single issue. So see you guys next time. Bye.